What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bodacious, Rant with Burn and Rye. We are talking about kind of a biopic of a movie, one that I didn't think need to get told in a way, or one I just never saw coming, and that is the latest movie from Jason Reitman. It is Saturday Night, starring actors like Gabriel LaBelle, Rachel Sennett, Corey Michael Smith, Ella Hunt, and Dylan O'Brien, so on and so forth. And if you haven't guessed it, it is about the very first night of Saturday Night Live coming on television. And so this is a non-spoiler review as well. So if you do happen to like it, please press the thumbs up and ring the bell to stay up to date with notifications. And of course, subscribe. We do appreciate you all for that. And yeah, like I said, this is a pretty straightforward movie where it's literally 30 Rockefeller Plaza, and Lorne Michaels is just struggling to get everything together on the first night of production and, going live. So, SNL has always been one of those hit and miss things over the years. Like, I didn't really get into it until, I would say, high school, because my high school ex and I she started watching stuff, and then I would watch it here and there. And that's when I discovered, like, Andy Samberg and all those guys, then watched a couple old clips over the years. So it's definitely had some great cast members, for decades. That's where some people got their start, like Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase. All these guys came out of nowhere. And, I think my expectations just watching the trailer of the last month, I was expecting a little bit more of never mind. I don't want to spoil it too much. Basically, I was expecting something a little bit different, and what we got here, still good, but I felt like there was something missing from it. Bern, what did you think about this movie?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is okay to say that, this movie, the way you described it as we were walking out of the theater, I think puts it best. This is very much like an event movie. It is about the night of the premiere of the first episode of Saturday Night Live, or I guess the taping of the first episode of Saturday Night Live. So it all takes place within the span of roughly an hour and a half to like 2 hours, and it does it so in real time. Which is, again, something that I didn't expect. I don't think you expected that either. Coming into it, with certain expectations, that definitely took me by surprise, because I thought we were going to get a little bit more into, these people and these characters of, all these insane personalities who are comedy icons now at this point, 50 years removed, into the lifespan of Saturday Night Live. These people are legends, so it's like, okay, I thought we were going to dig into all these different personalities, these different characters, and sort of touch on like the why of it all, like why these people decided to throw their hat in this unproven ring, and that is unfortunately not what we got. Fortunate or unfortunate, depending on how you look at it. I think the movie's strength is also its weakness is the fact that this does take place in real time, and this does take place over the span of an hour, and we're just kind of following Lorne Michaels in this hectic journey of getting this thing up and off the ground. Again, that's all like very interesting stuff, and I think the way that Jason Reitman directs it, and the way that they film it, and even the score that is in this movie, it's like it all works together to give you that sense of anxiety. For anyone who's been in any part of any sort of a production, I felt like this captured that sort of contained chaos well, and showing like all these moving parts trying to get this one thing together. And I think Jason Reitman, and again everybody involved, really really nailed it. I even think the performers, all the actors here, did a really great job, even though again we don't get to explore these people and sort of like their like inner wants and like why they want to be a part of this television show. Their character moments that they do get in the movie I thought they handled it really well. And again, Gabriel LaBelle does a great job here as Lorne Michaels. I did like his performance in The Fabelmans as essentially a teenage Spielberg. So it was surprising him here. And yeah, all those other actors you mentioned, Rachel Sennett, Corey Michael Smith, Ella Hunt, Dylan O'Brien, they all did a great job of not doing like impersonations of these people. They felt like they really embodied them as characters in the moments that we got to see them in, and there were some really good moments there for sure. It's just yeah, I guess I was wanting a little bit more on the aspect of the character side. Again, this show has been going on for 50 years now, so we do know that this thing does get up and off the ground. So I feel like centering it around that sort of hour before, is this going to happen, is it not, that just kind of took the wind out of the sails for me, that the fact that they went in that direction. But overall, with the execution of what they were trying to do, I do think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, I think I wanted a little bit more about again, kind of getting into like it's like some of the bigger stars of the show, and kind of get more of like like kind of like a traditional biopic would, where it's a little bit more intimate. But yeah, it was definitely more about like the event of it all, and while it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just again, I think it kind of I had my hopes a little up, but also watching 30 Rock, I had so many moments of like, oh my god, that is exactly what that show was talking about. Just all the madness of live production, trying to nail everything down, moving from sketch to sketch and stuff like that. It's just it did capture some of the hecticness of it. And yeah, like you said, I think all the actors, especially the ones who played John Belushi, Corey Michael Smith as Chevy Chase, and Dylan O'Brien, because those are like the main three I'm actually really familiar with, watching movies with them growing up. I thought those guys nailed their roles down really well. Like, that's a young Dan Aykroyd, that's a young John Belushi, and that's a young Chevy Chase. Very very well accomplished cast here, even though some of these people I've never heard of, but I didn't even think about that. I was like, man, these people killed it. With all that being said, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5, just because I think, this is definitely one of those movies that's not marketing itself very well. It was in like select theaters for the last couple weeks, but I was just like, it's coming out soon. I'll just wait to see it. But I still recommend it, especially if you're a fan of like biopics. You want a little bit more of like, you kind of want to see like a good like crazy hour and a half of like almost action wise, but just drama. This is definitely a good movie for you. I don't think it'll be for everyone, but yeah, like I said, I enjoyed it. 3 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I think the people who are going to appreciate this movie most are people who are already fans of the show SNL. I think anyone who just kind of knows these people, knows their backstories and stuff, and are able to fill in those blanks are going to be the ones that walk away from this probably enjoying it the most. For people who aren't really aware of it or don't really have too much knowledge of all these things, this movie kind of isn't going to be the one to sort of give you that information. It's just going to, again, it really just only depicts this event. And again, like I said, what it does, I think it does really well. I think, again, Jason Reitman's able to manage this chaos in a really fun and interesting way. And again, John Baptiste's score really lays down that sort of groundwork for the pacing of this movie, just rapid fire from the get-go. So yeah, overall it was a lot of fun. I wish it had a little bit more meat on the bone, but yeah, for what it was trying to do, I think it did it pretty well. So for me, it's going to be also a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, exactly, and that's very fair. But yeah, definitely if you're a fan of SNL and even 30 Rock, I should have mentioned that, even though I was talking about it. This is definitely going to be the movie for you. So for those of you who did happen to watch it like Bern and I did you like it? Did you not? Was it a little, even though it was only an hour, like an hour or something, hour and a half, did it drag on for you, or did it have good pacing? We'd love to know you guys' thoughts on that in the comments. But until next time, everyone, I hope everybody's enjoying their spooky month so far. Just keep on, just stay bodacious and keep on ranting for us.
Absolutely, everybody. Be good, be safe, and as always, we'll catch y'all on the next one.